Like seen Beyonce a few times. She's always a very sweet girl. To me, that just wasn't her. You know what I mean? Her thing. But I don't know. Like dude said, she switched it up or something.
People wanted those stories for years. You know what I mean? Right. I think that people wanted those stories for years, and that's just so sad on them.
Keyshia Cole complained that you weren't giving her any songs because of your relationship with Beyonce and how she sort of...
It wasn't nothing towards Keyshia. I mean, she knows that, and everybody with a brain knows that.
Y'all, what if I told you Beyonce's crown might have been dipped in some serious mess? Like not just shady tweets or petty girl drama, but full-on career manipulation, freak-off allegations, and whispers that her rise to fame wasn't just talent and hard work, but something way darker? Because, baby, Keyshia Cole didn't just throw shade. She unloaded a whole thunderstorm. So let's dive into it, because this tea is boiling. Let's rewind to 2013, a year when R&B was still serving real vocals. Beyonce was at the height of her queen bee status. And Keyshia Cole? She was not here for the fake feminism. Now, y'all remember when Beyonce randomly dropped that track, Bow Down? Woo! That song came in hot, with Bey literally telling the girls to bow down, bitches, after spending years preaching about female empowerment and girl power. Like, girl, pick a lane. The backlash? Immediate. Fans were confused, celebs were pissed, and Keyshia Cole? Sis went off. She dragged Beyonce on Twitter like her thumbs had a personal vendetta, saying, and I quote, "First women need to stick together, now be better, Bo." Shaking my head. Ope. The shade was real, but y'all, it wasn't just random hate. It came from something deeper, because behind the scenes, there were rumors that Beyonce had been gatekeeping, like allegedly blocking Keyshia from getting music placements because of her relationship with Jay-Z. Messy. Now let's be clear. Keyshia always insisted it wasn't hate. But baby, when you say Beyonce switched up and then call her out publicly, that's giving I said what I said energy. And let's talk about the facts. Keyshia claimed she had always respected Beyonce, but that Bow Down track just hit different.
When she was hating on the queen Beyonce, so
I was not hating on Beyonce.
It kind of was hate.
No, it was not directed at all as hate.
When the Bow Down record came out,
yeah, I love Beyonce.
And honestly, she wasn't the only one who felt that way. Even Beyonce's own fans, the Bay Hive, dragged her for being a hypocrite. Like, girl, you went from who run the world, girls, to bow down, beaches. The whiplash is real.
Bow down B over and over from the woman who preaches empowering women is a bit unsettling to some.
I love Beyonce, but I honestly think that Jay-Z's putting thoughts in her head.
You're on a Pepsi can, for goodness sakes, to tell B words to bow down. And then you're saying girls run the world.
But Beyonce, she stood 10 toes down, said she walked into the studio, heard a voice in her head, and felt the need to humble some folks.
The reason I put out Bow Down is because I woke up, I went into the studio, I had a chant in my head. It was aggressive, it was angry. It wasn't the Beyonce that wakes up every morning. It was the Beyonce that was angry. It was the Beyonce that felt the need to defend herself.
Okay, Miss Ghostwriter energy. But did we ask? Even Rihanna Loki clapped back with a savage Instagram caption. I only know how to be number one. I could use a challenge. How that feel down there on your knees? Baby. That was shade so sharp it could slice a lace front. And it didn't stop there. Brandy, yes, the Brandy, and Keyshia both backed Rihanna, blasting Beyonce for switching up and acting brand new. Brandy said she didn't love the song and called it not her.
I know that you are a Beyonce fan.
I am.
You're a Beyonce
Huge.
fan, and she recently put out her new song, Bow Down. People are talking about it.
Opinion is opinion. I think art should be expressed the way it should.
Do you love the song?
I don't love the song, but I love Beyonce.
Keyshia, on the other hand, went full Twitter rant mode, saying Beyonce was self-righteous when it was convenient. Woo, the timeline was burning. But sis, that wasn't even the real tea yet, because fast forward to now, Keyshia allegedly took it from music beef to calling out Beyonce's entire come-up, like entire. The latest whisper in these messy Hollywood streets? Keyshia's been telling folks that Beyonce's dad, yup, Matthew Knowles, was out here servicing her to industry execs for favors, freak-off parties, power dinners, the whole shady underground scene. Girl, what? And that Jay-Z allegedly wasn't much better. Word is Beyoncé thought Jay would treat her differently from her dad, but Chile, he allegedly continued the same career-building tactics, with Diddy involved. Yep. The rabbit hole is deep, and according to folks like Uncle Ron and even DaBaby, Beyoncé's been spotted at Diddy's mansion during these exclusive meetings with Jay.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. Diddy had put everybody else out the crib. Like the influx of people he had put him out, liking to me in particular around the time, man, and was really putting his arm around me. Right. Majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in 15 others, you know. Right. Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man.
So now people are piecing it together, and the image ain't pretty. So now that we've set the stage, let's talk about Jay-Z. Because, baby, this man wasn't just Beyonce's husband. According to the streets, he was her handler, her mentor, her gateway, and her leash. Let's start with the age gap. Bey was just 18 when she got with Jay. And him, he was pushing 30. Like, bro, what are you doing? You're almost a decade older, already seasoned in the game, and she's barely out of Destiny's Child rehearsals. That power dynamic is not giving equal love story. It's giving strategic grooming. And honestly, people clocked that from the start, because the moment Beyoncé got with Jay-Z, her career skyrocketed, like supernatural level fast. Way faster than Kelly and Michelle. Don't get me wrong, Bey is talented as hell, but the way industry doors started flying open for her, something wasn't adding up. And then came the control rumors. See, Uncle Ron, Beyoncé's former bodyguard, said something that had everyone shook. He claimed that Jay allegedly kept Beyoncé on heavy substances to manipulate and control her.
But I say, man, yeah, Beyonce's on books. She been on them for a long time. And you keep her there.
Yeah, you heard that right. According to him, Jay was making sure Bey was on the books, keeping her foggy, compliant, and isolated. Girl, that is not love. That is a Netflix documentary waiting to happen. And it's not just one voice. More people started whispering about Beyoncé being kept in a golden cage. From her overly rehearsed interviews to her painfully private life, it was giving manufactured image, not freedom. People said she had no real social life growing up, no dating experiences, no room to make mistakes, just stage lights and expectations. Like, is Beyoncé even living her own life? Or is she just the brand her team built and locked in a vault? Now, fast forward to when Jay-Z cheated. You'd think that would be the end, right? But Beyoncé didn't leave. And that's when people started asking, why? Some say it's because Jay is literally the only man she's ever known. Her identity, her career, even her family. It's all tied to him. Others believe the relationship was more business than romance from the beginning. Think about it. Power couple optics, global tours, brand deals, Grammy moments. That's big money, but here's where things take a super dark turn. There's this blind item floating around about Beyoncé allegedly planning a $500 million escape. Yup, she reportedly wants to leave the industry, leave the spotlight, and just disappear. Like, no more albums, no more tours, just gone. And the reason? Allegedly, she's being forced to stay. According to sources, her team, yes, the same team that's made millions off her, won't let her walk away. They keep her under control, push her to perform, and even chased her down at a recent awards show when she tried to sneak out early. You heard me? Chased her down. Sis is allegedly depressed, exhausted, and literally afraid of her own team. And the scariest part? These insiders are less concerned about her mental health and more worried about losing their cash cow. I mean, how sick is that? And let's not forget Diddy, because somehow he always pops up in these messy celeb scandals. There's this moment where rapper DaBaby talks about being invited to a private Diddy party in 2020. And guess who was also in the room? Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Just them, Diddy, and a handful of other hand-picked guests. People instantly started connecting dots to those infamous freak-off parties. You know, the ones where celebs allegedly get passed around for favors, leverage, or straight-up blackmail. Is that why Beyoncé stayed quiet for so long? Is that why she's always smiling, always polished, always scripted? Is she scared? Because let's be real, Beyoncé is Beyoncé. If she wanted to spill, if she wanted to expose, she could blow up the entire industry, but she doesn't. And that silence is deafening. So if you thought the last part was wild, oh girl, grab your tea because we're not done yet. Let's talk about this alleged $500 million escape plan. According to a very detailed blind item, Beyoncé is done, like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, over it. She reportedly wants to vanish, leave the music industry forever, and just live quietly. No more lights, no more control, no more handlers whispering in her ear. But here's the catch. They won't let her. That same team who built her up, they're the same ones allegedly keeping her locked in. They're scared she'll pull a Rihanna and disappear without warning. Only difference is, Rihanna got out. Beyoncé's still trapped. One source even said her bodyguard chased her down backstage at an award show when she tried to dip early. Y'all, what kind of pop princess needs security to make sure she doesn't run away? And it gets darker. Some insiders claim Beyoncé suffers from depression, possibly even suicidal thoughts. But instead of giving her space to heal or even breathe, her team just keeps pushing. Tours, performances, brand deals. And the reason? She's their biggest moneymaker. It's like they don't see her as a person, just a product. And then there's the whole momager situation. People say Tina Knowles, yes, Queen Mama Tina, still has a tight grip on Beyoncé's life, like emotionally and business-wise. Add that to the rumors about Jay-Z's influence, and what you've got is a woman being pulled in every direction, except her own. And fans are finally starting to notice. So this brings us back to Keyshia Cole. People were clowning her, calling her bitter, calling her pressed. But now, they're side-eyeing Beyoncé too, because Keyshia allegedly said Beyoncé's rise was engineered, not just by her dad, but by Jay-Z too. She was serviced out to industry execs to climb the ladder, and that included Diddy. She didn't come up because she was lucky. She came up because she played the game, or rather, the game played her. And now that Diddy's empire is crumbling and all these freak-off stories are coming out, people are looking back at Bey like, wait a second. Even DaBaby's story about being in that small private room with Bey J and Diddy has fans screaming, connect the dots. And Uncle Ron's allegations about substance use and control? Whew, it's giving Britney 2.0. But hi glam, some believe Beyoncé's recent behavior is her low-key rebellion. From slightly messier performances to emotionally distant moments to just not showing up sometimes, sis might be trying to take her power back without burning everything down. Others think she's biding her time, quietly building her exit, pulling her kids close, watching her money, and waiting for the right moment to pull the plug and disappear. And honestly, if it's true, I hope she does. Because fame without freedom is a cage, and no one, not even Queen Bey, deserves to live like that. So yeah, y'all, was Keyshia hating? Maybe. Was she bitter? Probably, but was she lying? The jury's still out, because when the whispers start getting louder and the stories all start connecting, sometimes the hater was just the first person to say what everyone else was too scared to. And now, the streets are watching Beyoncé a lot more closely, because behind the perfect glam, the tight choreography, and the billion-dollar smile, something ain't right, and the internet never forgets.